This week on 49ers Cal High Sports, we meet the prolific prep basketball star headed for Stanford. He's a fireballer from Acorn Country and one of the top prospects for the class of 2023. We'll meet him tonight.
We'll also have the emotional story of the Branson basketball player and the loss of her basketball star brother. Plus, Jalen Lewis shining at the end of last season. Looking forward to this season with Bishop O'Dowd. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports, presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Brownstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We begin tonight with a De La Salle baseball player who has spent the summer and early fall traveling the country.
Yeah, Blake Burke is a hard-hitting left-hander who has impressed coaches and scouts with his power, but also with his ability as an overall hitter. For Blake Burke, the future was set before the COVID-19 outbreak. He had committed to play college ball at Tennessee, so there are no recruiting worries.
Playing at Tennessee is a dream for me because those coaches want to win, and I mean that's what I want to do. I want to go to Omaha and possibly win the College World Series. I mean that's my goal. And I've played with some of the kids in my class that are committed to Tennessee, and I mean they're all striving for the same thing, and I just like the culture.
So when COVID hit and the high school baseball season shut down, Blake took his bat and hit the road. Blake played in games and showcases throughout the South, starting in Arizona to Louisiana to Atlanta, Georgia, Southern California, and in Florida. His favorite stop?
Louisiana, Lake Charles. That was just hit by the hurricane. I mean, all the people there were nice. The fields we played at were nice. I played well down there.
All of this gave coaches and scouts a chance to see Blake up close. Blake received lots of positive feedback as he continued to rock the ball all across the country.
I don't like to pay attention to that a lot, but I mean, it was nice to get some love from Jeremy Booth, Blaine Clemens, all those guys, and I liked it at the time, but like that's not what matters.
Blake is a power hitter, but give him that label and he will politely disagree.
I think that's not the right description. I think I'm a hitter, and people label me as a power hitter. I don't like it because I'm more than just a power hitter. Power hitters only hit home runs, but I think I can do more than just power hit.
Blake joined the De La Salle team as a freshman.
His freshman year, he was a really good team, and he fit right in. In the January before, we were doing some baseball stuff, and he hit a ball out, and one of my seniors came by and said, "Looks like we found our right fielder."
Blake quickly found his role on the team, lashing hit after hit, batting .395 as a sophomore with 4 home runs and 10 doubles with 34 runs batted in.
He's taken a huge jump in the last 4 months of his body and his abilities. He's sitting in his legs a little bit more. He went on a diet. He lost like 15, 20 pounds, put on some muscle. I truly believe that he's going to be a pro ball player one day.
Blake missed his junior year because of the COVID outbreak, but his biggest disappointment was for his seniors.
Well, I felt for the seniors because I know that it was their last year. I mean, I can't really complain, but I mean, our pitching was great, our lineup was great, young guys who are coming back this year. I just felt for the seniors because I've been with them for 3 years, and it sucked that I had to end that way.
Blake is excited for his senior season with the scholarship to Tennessee in place. He expects the Spartans to win another section title, just as the team did his sophomore year.
I feel like we have a pretty good lineup. We have a couple underclassmen that are coming up. Tony Martinez, Chase Ingram, AJ Binkina, who started some games with us last year, and I think we could have a successful season.
Blake was excited at the chance to play at Fenway Park late this summer, but that experience was taken away when Blake tested positive for the coronavirus.
So I tested positive right before I was supposed to go to Fenway and play there for an All-American game. Future Stars Series put that up, Jeremy Booth. And that's what I played in Louisiana for. It was the morning of, I got my results back, and it was just a bummer because my friends were going there, and I was just looking forward to it for 2 months.
Blake quarantined for 2 weeks and is now tested negative. He continues to work on improving his game with Oakland A's first baseman Matt Olson as an example of how he wants to play the game.
I like to model my game over Matt Olson because the way he plays, I mean, he's like calm, but he's always into the game. Like that play he made, he just caught the ground ball, threw it to third, saved the run possibly. I mean, stuff like that just saves games, wins ball games, and it just goes unnoticed. He also plays really hard, and I like to play really hard.
Working hard is no problem for Blake Burke, who loves the game and realizes what it takes to succeed. So Blake never had any symptoms from the coronavirus, but he did quarantine for 2 weeks and continues to play in showcases while studying remotely at De La Salle. Those are the times we're in right now.
He is a heck of a hitter.
Really an outstanding hitter, has been traveling all over the place as we saw, and has really enjoyed all those experiences, but he really wanted to go to Fenway Park, did not get that opportunity because of the COVID, but at least he's healthy and everybody around him is healthy, so that's good.
Awesome. All right, let's move on. Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week.
This week featuring the cheer team from Mercy High School from their competition last spring. Coming up, the Midi diver making a splash in the national diving community, but not in the pool.
And later, Jalen Lewis and the tragedy at the start of his life. That's coming up.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view.
And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
One, two, three.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
Look at you. No braces, all the internet you can handle. I wasn't so lucky.
Invis is not your parents' braces. Invis is predictable, less painful, more comfortable. Invisalign.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Invisalign, transforming smiles, changing lives. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
Welcome back to Levi's Stadium. Aubrey has our next feature story on a diver from Mitty.
That's right. Adam Wesson is pretty good at diving, as you're about to see, and it's a passion he shares with his older brother.
I just like the sensation of falling.
Adam Wesson is a senior at Archbishop Mitty High School and has quickly risen through the ranks as one of the best junior divers in the country.
He's a very powerful diver, he's very explosive. He can jump higher than most divers.
I used to do gymnastics when I was little, but then I had to decide between gymnastics and diving because there weren't a whole lot of schools that had men's gymnastics. A lot of the skills that I needed for floor and vault in gymnastics were similar to the skills I need for diving, so it just became pretty easy to transition.
Adam's just always been real fun-loving. He's a jokester. He's always goofing around. He's always dressing up. He's always making his teammates laugh. And so just kind of keeping everyone loose and relaxed has been a great asset because it's a sport that involves a lot of fear. So it's great to have someone around that's able to keep your teammates loose and having fun, because that's when people dive their best.
It teaches me a lot about myself and like how to, with balancing school and diving, it teaches me how to manage my time. And then in diving itself, it teaches me how to control myself, because physically I need to control myself. And then mentally, I need to stay calm to actually do my dives well.
Adam's older brother Tyler is a sophomore in college, diving for the Cal Berkeley team. Adam says having Tyler to look up to and learn from helped him in his own career.
Normally he would learn dives before I do, so that would just really help me understand that it's possible to do the dive, helped me mentally.
We had done everything together growing up. We even did karate at some point. We did everything together. And to just to do diving together just kind of felt like, I mean, we're competing, but at the same time, in between dives, we just hang out and talk as if, you know, it's just another regular day, not a competition. Helped ease my nerves a lot. It's nice. There's a lot of ups and downs to the sport of diving, and thankfully when there's the down parts, I'm not alone. I mean, I have teammates, but no one's gonna relate to me like Adam does. I mean, most of our lives we've been almost identical. He's a little taller than me now, which is kind of ridiculous, but we've always been pretty similar, so I know whatever he's going through, whatever I'm going through, it's pretty similar, and I feel like I'm not alone ever.
Adam and Tyler would compete against each other growing up, but Adam says that competition never created any bad blood between them.
Well, we competed against each other, but we never got very competitive. We're just very supportive of each other. More of the two of us versus everyone else than anything else.
I mean, we did it in high school, and we did club. So it was just, I mean, we always hung out together. We always saw each other. We'd always talk. But he just became very, even more relevant in my life when it came to the sport of diving. So we definitely got closer.
Tyler and Adam competed with each other for the last time in 2019 for the WCAL Championships. Both Wesson brothers took home first and second place and were named All-Americans. Then Tyler headed off for college. Were you sad to see him go?
I wasn't. I was excited for him because I knew that he was going to have fun.
Excited for me to leave.
Nah, I was excited for you to just go to college. I knew he'd have fun. He'd be fun wherever he went. So.
Adam has received offers to dive for some of the top colleges in the country. He plans to commit very soon.
I hope to see him final at the NCAA level, and if he's up to it, and if, you know, things return to the relative normalness as far as competition goes in general, I'd like to see if he can go to trials. I'd love to see him there.
So, who's the better diver?
It depends on which board.
I'd say Adam. He definitely, we do the same kinds of dives. However, when it comes to trying something new, he cares a lot less than I do about getting hurt. So that's something that I'm envious of him on, but
he usually gets the dives before me though, and then I'll ask him how it went, what it was like.
I like preserving my skin though a lot.
I don't care.
I have my limits. He seems to have none.
Yeah.
As far as fear or pain.
I'll just put up with the pain, it's fine. If I smack us, try again next time, I guess.
Adam Weston is ready to dive into whatever life brings, especially with his big brother by his side. It seems like Tyler and Adam are as close as brothers can get, which I'm sure is going to make it difficult when Adam goes off to college. And I know what school Adam has chosen, but he tells me I can't share.
Syracuse?
Oh, no, I wish.
Of course not Syracuse. Who would go to? No.
Always bashing Syracuse.
Two talented, very talented guys.
They are both. I couldn't believe my eyes when I was watching.
Did they teach you a dive?
No.
You know, like a double flip kind of thing?
No, did not. I shot a lot of it though.
Absolutely.
Behind the scenes.
All right.
All right, each week, Lexus of Stevens Creek presents the Volunteer Award, part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek commitment to promoting volunteerism.
This week's Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Award goes to Malik Saucer from Oakland Tech High School. Malik does all sorts of volunteer work for his church. Malik spends at least 10 hours every week on a variety of projects, including giving away masks and gloves to protect people from the COVID virus. Malik talks about why it is so important for him to help his community.
Because I grew up in East Oakland, I understand that it's a rough place to grow up. It's almost a war zone. And then it just like stuff like this is give hope to the kids.
Coming up, he's one of the top sophomores in the nation, but his life had a rough start. The Jalen Lewis story is next.
And later, the prolific prep point guard with a flair for fashion and a love for the game. We'll meet Issa Silva later in the show.
People always ask me what I got on. They be like, hey, Brandon, what you got on? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it, sweetheart.
Invis is everything braces isn't. More comfortable, fewer emergency appointments. Invisalign.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we are in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Invis is everything braces isn't. Eating the food you love, life uninterrupted. Invisalign.
Sarah Padres, and you're watching Cal High Sports.
Each week, U.S. Bank helps bring you stories of inspirational athletes who amaze us.
Aubrey, this week we meet Jalen Lewis, the 6'9" sophomore from Bishop O'Dowd. Jalen had a tough start to his life, but a loving family helped him find the success he sees today. How does a child who loses his mother at 2 months old thrive? Jalen Lewis has done just that.
My dad means the world to me. My mom died when I was 2 months old, and he's just always been the guy that's there my entire life growing up. He's always been there taking me to my AAU games, taking me to school, putting me in the best school that can give me the best education. When I was young, I went to a private school. You know, he's just always been there. He's always been supporting me through everything I do.
He's had a good village around him. You know, I've had a lot of help. I kind of learned early on that I couldn't do it by myself, so my plan was to, find people that I could, knowledgeable people, with regards to basketball and its education for that matter. Find good people that I could trust that had his best interests at heart.
Jalen never knew his mom, but for his dad, the family life he dreamed of was shattered in the 4 months from a diagnosis of breast cancer to the death of Tiffany Lewis just 4 months later.
Pain was and is unimaginable. Sometimes things can cut so deep that you can't even feel the pain, you know what I mean? But with regards to raising Jalen, I mean, he was so young. He was 2 months old when that happened. And, wow. I didn't really have a choice but to move forward.
Moving forward meant getting lots of help, especially from Jalen's 2 grandmothers.
They're on the same level as my dad. They've just always been there. They've like comforted me like a mom, They've always just helped me when I'm down. When I was young, they used to help me go to sleep. I went on a lot of trips with my grandma on my mom's side. We went to Hawaii a couple times, Texas, Washington, D.C.
Ever since then, last 15 years, I've been taking things a day at a time. And now it's 15 years. I've had some great help from my mother, my mother-in-law. Those 2 in particular have been priceless.
Now, at 15, here is Jalen Lewis, a 6'9" basketball star with 9 Division I offers, a 3.8 GPA, and a love for math. A point guard in grade school, Jalen now plays down low for Bishop O'Dowd. A starter as a freshman, Jalen blossomed as last season went along. In the section title game, the freshman led his team with 24 points. The basketball world was taking notice with the help of O'Dowd head coach Lou Ritchie.
Right when we went into quarantine, actually, Lou had me on Zoom calls with a lot of different coaches, and that's when I started getting a lot of offers. I think I picked up like 6 or 7.
With all this attention, Jalen keeps working.
It's always been nose days off for me. You got to take some rest days. You can't overdo on your body. I love playing this game, so I don't even look at it as work. I just look at it as having fun, being out here on the court.
His IQ, everything I throw at him, he gets it the first time I ask. I'll tell it to him. He's like, got it, coach, got it, coach, got it, coach. And then his work ethic, the kid works, right? You think a sophomore in high school, I think his parents did a great job of getting him ready to be big time.
Jalen says he was looking forward to a thrilling sophomore season with fans in the stands and all the excitement of high school basketball. Now he'll take what comes and make the best of the situation. He knows he is where he is today with the help and support of a loving family. As it turns out, Jalen was a big part of the healing process.
Having him actually kept me sane, I would say, because I had to focus on him immediately and without any hesitation.
With his dad at his side, Jalen Lewis is thriving, succeeding on the court and in the classroom because of a family stepping up to honor the legacy of a mother he never knew. Jalen's season was cut short last year, but expect the Dragons to be great again this season. And congratulations to Dragons head coach Lou Ritchie, who got married virtually. He really got married, but in a virtual sense, last week. So
awesome.
Good for him, finally finding somebody that would marry him.
I know. He's going to spend a lot of time on the basketball court. I hope she's ready.
I'm sure she is.
Okay, Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
Here is this week's Wings of an Angel from Emery Hansen from Pioneer High School talking about her favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher is probably my multimedia teacher, Kevin Crail. He definitely made our class a lot interesting than most of my other classes. Our projects were definitely a lot more fun, and we got to on some of our projects we got to work with other people, and I know the first semester we did a bunch of Photoshop and Illustrator, and the second semester we did a bunch of worked with videos, and that was definitely a lot interesting than any other elective I could have taken.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our end of the season awards banquet in June.
Coming up, the Branson basketball star and her family loss.
And later, the hard-throwing Live Oak Acorn who is turning heads in the baseball world.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cute-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
The Guzmans were about to close on a home they adored, but at the last minute, their mortgage company denied their loan because the unusual home didn't meet their usual loan requirements. Heartbroken, they turned to Tri-Counties Bank home mortgage loan specialist Vincent Pagera, specializing in custom loans for unique homes. His team quickly designed a creative solution, uniting the Guzmans and their home just in time. That's a perfect match. For personalized problem solving, switch to Tri-Counties Bank. Service with solutions.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikes Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Serena Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Sereno Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
We are back at Levi Stadium with this week's DGDG.com feature athlete.
Our Allie Williams is here with the story of a Branson basketball star and the huge loss in her life.
Yes, the love of a brother and sister is something normally tested when both are teenagers. But Jalea Wiggins loved and admired her older brother, which made what happened in June of 2019 so painful.
So I just went to bed like any other day. For the first 2 hours, I had no idea what was going on. I was really confused. Quinn got into a car crash. Yeah, okay, right. He's staying at his friend's house. I thought I was sleeping over.
It's the call you never want to get. For Jalea Wiggins, it was hearing her brother was killed in a car accident.
He was really inspirational to everybody he met. He had a really great smile. Not as good as mine, but really good. Yeah, he was just all-out great person.
Last year, early in the morning of June 10th, Jalea's brother Quentin passed away in a solo car accident on the way home from a friend's house. The Branson community is small and close-knit, and his loss is one that continues to be felt.
I remember that morning, I actually got a phone call from Jonas Honeck, who's the boys coach, telling me the news. And it was actually the first day of Branson summer camp. So the entire boys and girls program was supposed to be on campus.
They couldn't believe it as much as I did. They were just so upset, and I was like, wow, he had a lot of friends, a lot of friends.
Quentin was a star on Branson's basketball and football teams. The community continues to miss him and has shown their support in many ways. An online fundraiser created for the family now stands as one of the fastest climbs in GoFundMe history.
It's just really nice to know that this many people cares for us and wants to make sure that we're good.
The Quentin Wiggins Scholarship Fund now supports a Branson scholarship to a student in need. And a memorial greets you as you walk onto the Branson campus.
It's really nice. Me and my family came up here on graduation day, the seniors' graduation day, to just look at it and just, it's awesome to know how cared for he was and stuff, and how much people loved him.
It was actually a drive-through ceremony, so only the teachers and some coaches were allowed. Wiggins actually would have been the last one since W. It was really cool. They actually had 3 cars and the entire family come in. They all got up on stage. They had a picture of Quentin and his name was announced.
Her family was moved by the support, but Jalea says she had to work through some guilt on her own.
I found out that he was coming back for me to take me to basketball, and for a bit I felt like it was partially my fault. What if my other brother, my older brother could have taken me, or one of my parents? I kind of felt like it was my responsibility.
It took some time, but Jalea says she began to heal and took comfort in looking back. Just 2 years younger, Jalea carries the memory of her brother with her.
I was alone with myself a lot, just to reminisce and think about him and all the time we spent together when we were kids.
Get off of me, bro.
I always loved thinking about whenever I saw him at campus with his friends, I'd always try to embarrass him or say something funny to make them laugh or something. Thinking back to our relationship and how close we were usually helped me.
She stayed strong, and I think that helped the rest of us kind of be able to cope with the situation.
Jalea credits her start in basketball to Quentin.
And I'd always see Quinn during halftime go out on the court and shoot with the guys, and I was I want to do that. If he can do it, I want to do it. I think I can do it.
Jalea now wears the number 11, Quentin's former number. She keeps him close to her heart as she forges her own path on the court.
I felt closer to my brother with the number 11, and I'm representing his legacy and making a name for myself, but also keeping his name alive by wearing his number and just having his name on our jacket.
Jalea's dedication to basketball shines through. She is a standout at the Branson School and made major breakthroughs in her game last year.
She never gives up. She's fearless is such a good word for her, and just the strength that she plays with. It just carries over to the others on the team and even on the boys program in the community. She's a leader.
Coming into sophomore year, I made a promise to myself that we're gonna get somewhere this year. I can feel it. I'm gonna make that happen. We're gonna do it. I know we will do it.
Jalea and her team set high goals for themselves and felt the importance of the NCS title game.
I just thought to myself this is the game that's going to determine our future. This game is going to determine, make a name for Branson and for me and my teammates and everyone. This is the game that's going to put us back on the map, and I have to make sure that happens.
She also knew she had a guardian angel with her, thanks to a visit with a medium.
The lady said, every time you find a penny, that's Quentin saying hey, what's up, I'm with you. And that day of the game, I found 3 pennies in my room, and I knew he was with me during that game, and that he definitely helped me push through all that adversity that I was feeling with myself, with my team and the other team. I know he helped me push through that.
The girls team won their first NCS title for Branson in 10 years, then went on to win the Division V NorCal Championship, titles that Jalea is both proud of and ready to defend.
I'm captain this year, so I really got to step it up on keeping them focused and making sure they're ready. We had a team meeting, and I was we need to be loud and engaged and screaming. I don't even care about what it is.
On the court, Jalea is a strong leader. She continues to write her story with the strength of her brother's memory guiding her.
Growing up, I've always I've lived a little bit in the shadow, but I've appreciated it because I've been able to watch him develop as a basketball player, and I've always wanted to be like him. So the thought that I want to be as good as him, probably, hopefully better, but probably not, but hopefully better. Keeps me going and like keeps me working hard.
She's got dreams. I think she does it not with a chip on her shoulder, but with the strength on her shoulders with her brother there and just the strength of her family. Anything she wants to accomplish, she will.
It's a sibling bond that can never be broken. Jaliyah is destined for great things, with her brother's spirit, the strength of her family, and the support of the community with her every step of the way.
Jaliyah still constantly finds pennies around the house to remind her that her brother is with her, and she is so excited to get her junior year of basketball started.
Yeah, such an optimistic person and going through her life, and great that she's dedicating all this now.
They both have their big smiles, and so she's carrying that on as well.
Very good. Coming up, the superstar point guard from Jesuit now traveling the nation with Napa's prolific prep.
And later, we'll meet the hard-throwing baseball prospect from Live Oak. Adobe helps us bring stories of top athletes performing at their peak each week.
Aubrey, tonight we meet one of the very best point guards in the entire nation. Issa Silva from Jesuit High in Sacramento is playing his senior season at Prolific Prep. Issa made a big splash with his commitment this past spring. Issa Silva is far from being only a great basketball player. His life is more than that. He is a scholar with a 4.3 GPA, a thinker who meditates daily to slow his life down. He loves music and has a passion for fashion.
You know, I've always loved fashion. I always love being different and inspiring other kids to like just do what they want to do. I think music, fashion, basketball, they all coincide with each other. So being able to express that one day as, you know, more resources become available, that's a plus.
Issa has supreme confidence. This clip is from a video he produced to announce where he would play in college. He thanked his dad for all his support.
To my father and best friend, you have been my rebounder since I could shoot a ball. You have been my rebounder in life, helping me always bounce back when adversity strikes. There's no other person I'd rather have by my side.
Through contacts Issa made throughout his basketball journey, this video could be the best commitment video ever made. Issa strives for the best at everything he does. He sees basketball as art, a canvas where the painting is never complete.
It's the greatest art form in the world, in my opinion. You can do whatever you want. You can never master something. That's the beauty of it. There's always something to work on. No matter how highly ranked you are, or, all the accolades you get, like, there's always room for growth in basketball. So your painting can always get that much better. So I think that's pretty beautiful.
Issa has a huge support group, including a large family that grew when he was 9.
Yeah, so my parents separated when I was 9. You know, of course, when I was at that age, you know, it was kind of new for me, so, you know, it hurt, but, you know, they love each other still. It's not a toxic relationship between the two, and both my step-parents are, like, equally supportive as me, and I'm really close to both of them, so I've been fortunate in that aspect.
With all the support, Issa saw his game continue to improve. From a young age, he flourished on the court. He played in high school at Jesuit in Sacramento, AAU ball with the Compton Magic, always striving to compete against the best so he could become the best. Looking forward to his senior year, Issa's life changed as the coronavirus hit.
You know, before all this craziness, you know, in like March, it was kind of like looking forward to playing on the circuit with Compton Magic, my 8th club team from down south. So I was kind of gearing up for that, getting ready to take more visits. But then, you know, COVID happened. I think that kind of shortened the timetable for my college commitment as well. Like other big-time programs were trying to get involved, but in my heart, I knew it was going to be Stanford. I'm excited to announce that I'll be attending Stanford University. Go Cardinals. So I talked to my parents. I'm like, I don't know if these schools are going to fit me, even if you know the name is really big and it's enticing. So we sat down and talked about it, and I was ready to choose Stanford.
With his college choice made, Issa decided to join Prolific Prep in Napa. He knew they would play games at the highest level. Heading to Stanford next year, Prolific would help Issa advance his game with high school games not guaranteed.
And we were already talking to, you know, Prolific Prep, Philippe, Jeremy, Coach Phelps, and, you know, I just really meshed with them. And, you know, their vision for me here to develop and be as ready as possible when I get to Palo Alto. And then down the road when, you know, I'm chasing my dreams of being an NBA player.
Issa knows he is fortunate with a scholarship in hand during such an uncertain time.
It's kind of unfortunate for, kids that are going to be college athletes or kids in general who don't have scholarships yet because they don't have an opportunity to develop or, be put on a stage where they can get those offers for kids that are under the radar or kids that aren't under the radar. Because you'll play in March and then you're in college in June doing summer workouts. Quiero decir gracias a mis abuelitos y por todo lo que han hecho para nuestras familias.
Spanish is Issa's first language, his parents knowing this would help later in life and embed him with the history of his family. He says his mom gives him a love for fashion. He'll go on consignment sites looking for clothes to match his style. Maybe someday creating a clothing line of his own.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to do that, for sure. I always tell my mom, because my mom's really into fashion too, like I think that's probably where I get it from. So I always told her, like, playing basketball, like I want to, start a clothing line while I start playing.
For now, Issa continues his schooling while traveling the country, playing with a great team against some of the best competition in the nation. Then, next season, Issa will attend Stanford University, a place where he has several family connections and a place where Issa believes he will find a new family. Super smart and very talented, Stanford is thrilled to have Issa, and his family is happy because they can come watch him play.
Awesome. And maybe he will be a feature like our next one, Deja Mu, our Deja Mu Athlete of the Week. Was that a good transition?
I was confused a little bit, but it was fine.
Okay, let me explain what the Deja Mu Athlete is then.
Okay.
The Deja Mu Athlete is brought to us by Clover Dairy. It brings us athletes who are grazing their way through the professional ranks. This week we feature Danielle Robinson from Mitty High School.
Danielle is a three-time WNBA All-Star playing for the Las Vegas Aces. Danielle graduated from Mitty in 2007, and after her 4 years at Oklahoma, she was the 6th overall pick in the 2011 draft. Danielle is one of the best to ever wear a Mitty uniform for basketball. Coming up, the action heating up in our E-Games tournament. The latest highlights next.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports, the #1 high school sports show in the nation.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view.
And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley. Our E-Game tournament continues this week with the regular season heating up.
That's right. We've teamed up with the Ultimate Gaming League to put together the first of its kind high school Madden League. Here are the highlights from one of the big games this week.
This event is powered by the UGL. Tonight's matchup features Washington High School versus McClymans.
My name is Solo. I go to Washington. I play receiver. I was 3-1 in the preseason. I'm on a 3-game win streak, so I hope to continue that in the regular season.
My name's Caleb. I go to McClymans. I play wide receiver and corner. I ain't had no preseason, but hopefully I'm looking to dominate the regular season.
Scoreless late in the first, Savage Life tries to get on the board by going deep to Julio Jones, but is picked off. Taking advantage of the turnover, Solo Man finds Schultz on 3rd and 2 from the 15 for the first score of the game. Next possession, Savage Life on 4th and goal takes Gurley up the middle for the score, 7-all. On 2nd and 10 with 28 seconds left in the half, Solo Man drops back with Dak, surveys the field, can't find anybody, and he just takes it himself to the house for the score, 14-7 Dallas. Now Solo Man adds to his lead with a shifty handoff to Pollard with a stop-and-go move for the touchdown. Plus a 2-point, 22-7 boys. Attempting to get back in the game, Savage Life goes deep to Julio Jones, this time connecting on 3rd and 11 for the score. Still a one-possession game late in the 4th. Solo Man looks to seal the deal, taking Zeke Elliott to the house for a 25-yard Dallas TD. Next drive, Savage Life finds Ridley in the corner for an ATL score. After a failed onside kick, Solo Man puts the nail in the coffin with a 75-yard TD run with Zeke. With time running out and down 22, Savage Life drops back, looks for Gage, but is picked off. 44-22 is your final.
I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm using a new team, but the run game seems to be working. I'm getting a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns. I'm enjoying it.
I'm finna add some run plays because I got Ty Gurley. I'm finna run the ball. Good games.
You're gonna do. Yeah.
Follow UGL on social media and subscribe to UGL World_TV on Twitch to view the full game.
Another exciting game. You know, there's some of these guys that I really know that are playing in this league, and they're good.
We covered a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's cool. Follow UGL World on social media for all the information into our Madden League.
The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Awards each week. This week we honor Max Dixon Jr. from Valley Christian High School with a 3.8 GPA.
Brought to you by the Harker School. This week we honor Harker Senior Gabriel Yang and Juniors Esther Wu and Sophie Zhang Murphy, who were named finalists for the USGA and American Junior Golf Association's President's Leadership Award, which recognizes young golfers for their efforts to serve their communities. At Harker, transitional kindergarten through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org. Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including breaking news updates and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
Coming up, the South Bay Fireballer and his quick rise to prominence.
You're watching 49ers Cal High Sports. We'll be right back.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by Devcon Construction, build, design, perform, sustain.
We are back with our Service by Medallion feature story for this week.
Yep, I met up with Landon Stump from Live Oak High School. Landon is just a sophomore, but he's drawing a lot of attention when he takes the mound. "15 years old. Landon Stump is a sophomore at Live Oak High School. He could still be playing Little League, but Landon's arm, well, you could say it's above average for kids his age.
Yeah, when I was 13 is when I really excelled pitching. Like December, my coach started texting me and said I had if I was gonna get to a certain velo, then I'd have to start going to showcases and I'd start getting calls. And then I got my first call in December, and that's when it hit me that everything, I gotta start thinking about that stuff.
At the beginning of this year, Landon was receiving calls from smaller Division I colleges. Then COVID hit and his freshman season at Live Oak was canceled. Landon decided to use his free time wisely.
It actually gave me a lot of time to get back in the gym and work out before, a few months before we can do anything. So that actually really helped me get stronger before the season. So when I was able to come out, it was a lot better.
It was then Landon began to see a jump in the radar gun.
I hit 90 for the first time in June. The end of June is when I hit it. I got a lot more calls when I hit 90. A lot more colleges started talking to me after that.
Landon started receiving calls from Pac-12 schools once his fastball hit 90 miles an hour. At the end of September, at 15 years old, Landon committed to the University of Oregon.
A lot of calls with the coaches, and it seemed like their play style really fit mine. They're really competitive like me, and they had the same mindset as me when I'm out there. So I really did a big part in it. definitely took us by surprise. It was kind of like a little overwhelming at first. And I don't know, we didn't think we'd have to think about it this early. If I know where I want to go, why wait another 3 years before I commit?
Landon says it wasn't just his pitching that impressed the scouts.
Competitiveness. I like to talk trash. I like to show emotions out there. I'm a little cocky. And that's everyone I talked to, they said they really like my competitiveness.
Landon says his dad was a big reason why he was able to get so much better this summer.
During the whole COVID thing, he was with me. He'd play catch with me in the backyard every day. And he'd have to velo my bullpens. And so whenever he'd get home from work, he'd be right in the backyard, he'd be throwing. So definitely him.
Is there any chance you could go into the draft early, maybe around your senior year?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm working to right now, to get drafted out of high school.
What's it going to take to get there?
A lot of eating, because I got to put on weight. A lot of working out. I got to be in the gym a lot. I got to sacrifice a lot. A lot of my free time has to be in the gym.
Is it going to be worth it?
Yeah, that'd be worth it.
Can you believe it? 15 years old. Landon says he's going to continue to work hard to up his velocity even more and is hoping to enter the 2023 MLB draft.
Yeah, I can believe it because I've been talking to my friends in Morgan Hill, and they say he is the real deal.
Really?
And not only is a baseball player, but a good person
Okay, yeah.
as well. All right, coming up, we'll let you know what's happening on next week's show.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Rikus Center.
I'm Andrew Havili, and today's training tip is a single leg RDL. This is great for balance, hamstring, stability, things like that. So Ella's going to balance on one leg, doesn't matter which leg, do both sides. And she's going to reach her opposite hand for the foot on the ground. We want to try to stay flat-footed, hold balance, and don't hyperextend on the way back up. You're actually squeezing your glutes on the way back up. If you want to regress it, you just put your foot on a boot or something, or a sock, and you slide back, and now you have your balance points. This is a single leg RDL.
That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Brownstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Next week, we'll hit the water with a water skiing superstar from Las Lomas High School, and we'll also have the heartwarming relationship between a pitcher and her coach. That's next week on 49ers Cal High Sports. We'll see you then.